Halfway through my senior year of college, I came to the age-old fork in the road, where I had to make a decision. Do I stick with what I know and go home, or do I try something new and see what life has for me? So like any good Enneagram 3, I made a pros and a cons list, and it led me to make a decision few people expected, moving to Fort Worth, Texas. I had never even been to the state before, so I knew it was going to be a wild ride. And in the last year and a half since I've moved here, I've come to the conclusion that it was one of the best decisions I could have made for myself. Now, I say all of this on the flip side, but on the morning of June 27th, 2019, I was more nervous than I'd ever been. So much so that I resorted to telling myself cringy optimistic platitudes like everything happens for a reason. Now, as it turns out, I was right about that whole wild ride thing, because for the first month I lived in Texas, it took me multiple tries to find the nearest Target. The highway system here is bonkers, and not even Google Maps can save you. Now, initially, my culture shock in moving here was enormous, as it had every right to be. Moving from a sleepy suburban town in central Pennsylvania to one of the largest metroplexes in the country? Come on! But getting out of that 22-year PA bubble was invaluable to my personal growth. It was also invaluable in helping me learn about the things I loved. And not only that, but incorporating them into my regular R&R practices. So painting, kayaking, hiking, camping, reading, those weren't just things I liked and did occasionally, but have now become part of my routine. Now, in moving here, I inevitably ripped out the safety net right out from under me. They were still there for me, but they weren't right next door. And now this meant I had to cook for myself, which was scary as hell. And you would agree if you saw that, the first meal I made for myself in my apartment. This also led to other adult decisions like having surgery and buying a new car, things I did without my parents. Now, moving here has also made homesickness become all too real. I'm incredibly close to my family. So being away from them truly gave meaning to the word heartsick. FaceTime is great, but it's not the same as hugging my sister goodbye or smelling my mom's coffee in the morning. After living here for a while, I discovered that it's not too terribly different. I found a church I loved. I was able to go to professional sporting events pre-COVID, and I was even able to enjoy the great outdoors, even in the 100-degree Texas summer. Moving here has given critical importance to finding solid community with people who encourage and empower you. Before that support system I found, I floundered, but with them, I thrived. The difference is night and day. Moving to Texas has also brought to light the incredible value that lies in volunteering in your community. Through volunteering at some local nonprofits here in Fort Worth, I've gained a greater sense of empathy and rootedness here in my community. Moving here has also humbled me into taking an observational place in most settings and situations. Because I'm learning just about everything there is to know about living here. It's taught me to learn how to be aware of those around me and to be aware of myself. Now, Texas is not short on culture in any way, shape, or form. Living here has given me a greater appreciation for the richness of cultures. And after attending my first quinceañera, I can safely say that no one puts on a party quite like Mexican-American families. This new journey has also given me perspective on traveling and how much it differs from tourism. It's now given me a greater desire to experience a place, not just take the perfect postcard picture. Now, moving to Texas has also given me what I like to call fin-dependence. And no, that is not fake independence, that is forced independence. It's forced me to make decisions I otherwise probably wouldn't have made had I stayed at home. But this has given me an unshakable self-confidence in my decision-making skills. Now, living in Texas has also forced me to confront the present impact of historical and systemic injustices, which has led to my greater passion for social justice. Which brings me to one of my greatest lessons in moving to Fort Worth, a city 1,200 miles away from home, is finding the things that I'm passionate about and pursuing them, especially my calling as an urban educator and in closing the achievement gap. Now, I can confidently say that Texas, especially Fort Worth, has forever inked itself on my heart. The stories that this heart ink tells are some tattoos that I'm sure that my parents won't kill me too much for having. Now, there's the cliche of turning your test into a testimony, which is true for a reason. Our tests and testimonies may not be the same, but they have a lasting impact on our souls. And although Texas is not my forever home, moving here has been one of the greatest decisions that I've ever made. Thank you.